Uyo, uko, kuno, apo, pano. Mama wanna get it, mama wanna get it nice. I know food I miss, I know food I tell, I know kaya marigi.
Right, 19 August 2023, and today I'm joined by my guest, Mr. Panganai Mhlanga, and today we're going to go very, very quickly. He has developed a model on what is going to happen within the next election of Zimbabwe presidential election specifically, and I want us to run through that model and then we quickly summarize. Mr. Mhlanga, please go ahead. What is your model? What do you predict will happen in the elections, which is going to be happening in the next 4 days?
Thank you very much, Pardon, my brother. Big up to yourself. And my model is simply based on the outcome that I believe is going to happen based on what has happened before throughout history in our Zimbabwean elections, right? So what I've said is it's 33.33% CCC win, right? And also 33.33% ZANU-PF win, and also the 33.33% contested outcome. And I'll go with the last outcome, which is a contested outcome all the time, because it has been happening in our elections since 2002. That's my prediction there, because when you look at Zimbabwean elections, right, it is not about what ZEC announces, it is about what the judicial system says who the president is. Like I said, in my model, right, who is going to be the president is going to be determined by the judicial system, not by ZEC. Right, ZEC is not going to determine who the president is, and it has been happening for a long time, a very long time. So I was actually surprised when we have some other people coming and say that CCC will win. Yeah, that's correct. I understand that. But when you predict based on what? You have to take out all the emotions, right? When you predict, take out all your emotions, all your affiliation towards a political party, right? My prediction, pardon, is simply a realistic prediction, because there's one thing that, when I spoke to you, that actually get me so worried is what happens when ZEC says ZANU-PF has been declared the ultimate loser, right? We have never seen that happening, and people should not confuse that with the 2008 election when Mugen Tsvangirai won the election, but with not the majority, right? But what happens when ZANU-PF have been declared the ultimate loser? I haven't seen that in my lifetime, and I do not know how ZANU-PF will react and what ZANU-PF will do after that. I've seen what CCC, MDC have done when they've been declared the ultimate loser. But if ZANU-PF declared an ultimate loser, this is my model is all about. My model is not about saying that ZANU-PF will be the ultimate winner or what even Dr. Mutenere was saying. No, it's not about that. It's about being realistic and understand that the outcome of the election will be determined by the events that will follow through after what has been announced there. That will declare who the president is. So to say that, oh, CCC is going to win an election or ZANU-PF is going to win an election, that person who says that, who predicts that, is a liar, is an ultimate liar. Even ZANU-PF themselves, I know they've got no idea what's going to happen. Nobody has got an idea what's going to happen. If you are a realistic person who believe in what I believe in, nobody knows what's going to happen.
Okay, I get you, and I want us to summarize. I don't want us to take long here. It's very clear what you've said. You said there are 3 possible outcomes, and this is ED wins or Chamisa wins.
Yes.
But there's another outcome, which is there will be a contested outcome. Can you go a bit deeper into the contested outcome? What will cause the election to be contested, which is different this time? You said what is different is that ZANU-PF is probably going to be declared the loser, and for the first time ever. Can you go a bit deeper into that? Yes.
Pardon, for me, I'm going to tell you something. This is one of the most dangerous elections that we have never witnessed in our lifetime, right? Because the outcome, nobody knows what's going on based on what has been happening previously. You see how ZEC, and I think you did a report where you were talking about how ZANU-PF could have lost the control of ZEC and stuff like that. You see that? You see, I have got no idea. I've got no idea what ZANU-PF strategy is. I've got no idea what CCC strategy is. So this election could be one of the most dangerous elections that we have ever witnessed in our lifetime when it comes, because what I'm simply saying is whoever says that it's going to be an ultimate ZANU-PF win, right, is a liar. Or who says that it's going to be CCC ultimate win is a liar. They do not understand how things work, because when you look at ZANU-PF themselves, right, they've been in power for more than 4 decades, right? 4 decades, right? We have never seen how ZANU-PF will actually files contesting early election. If it is what is going to be like.
No,
we have never seen that. We have never seen that. We have never seen that.
I want you to unpack it. What will ZANU-PF do if they are declared the loser?
What will ZANU-PF do if they're declared the loser is either they can go military or they can go the judicial way. Both of these things they can, right? It depends what ZANU-PF will do. But I have never seen that in my lifetime. Nobody have ever witnessed that happening. So we do not know what ZANU-PF will do. I can just predict or think what ZANU-PF will do. So it's a conundrum.
Okay,
my brother.
Right.
It's a conundrum to tell you from.
Let's wrap it up. I hear you very clearly, and I value that opinion that you're giving us, because I think it's important for us to have some balance.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand that what you're saying is not trivial. This is probably the most. It's not most probably the most important thing that I've heard regarding the contested outcome. So you said they can either go the judiciary, or they could go the military way. Let's unpack.
Another thing. Let me add another thing, right? I just said judicial or military myself, right? But another thing that I've got no idea what they would do, because it has never happened before, right? It has never happened before. We have to be prepared for that.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is there is almost a 66% chance that things will go against ZANU-PF. Because 33% is ZANU-PF, 33% contested, and 33% Chamisa. So you're basically saying 66% is Chamisa, 33% is ZANU-PF.
Remember, even CCC also has another 33% against them, that things can go against them, right? You see, that's why I said in this model, it's a 33.33%, right? I know there are other people who will be contesting in this election, but I'm looking at CCC and ZANU-PF, right? But I'm just
Okay.
yeah, like I cannot
Now,
say that
you've given us
66
you've given us the options
against
for.
ZANU-PF. I cannot say that it's 60% against ZANU-PF. I cannot say that.
Okay,
Right.
you've given us the options for ZANU-PF. They can go the judiciary or they can go the military route. What can CCC do?
CCC has done it before. You see, CCC, if they lose, they've done it before. They've gone to the Supreme Court and everything. They've done it before. That is something that we already know, right? What they're going to do, right? And the results are predictable based on what they have done in the previous elections, right? But I am talking about what ZANU-PF would do if it is the other way around, right?
No, but I saw your model. I saw your model.
Yeah.
I saw your model. In your model, you've got one last thing that you said, which is besides the judiciary, besides the military,
Yes.
there
Yes,
is
I like
another
that.
option which will nullify everything. Can you unpack that model that will
Exactly.
give CCC
Right.
a victory?
That model, I like it because the people can nullify what the Supreme Court would have said is the people. If the people say this is what they want, because it is the people, right, through a revolution, right? If they go into the street that this is what we want, right? If the people go into the streets, like what we did with Robert Mugabe, you see, this is what the people say that they want, right? We nullified everything. So this is what the people can say, that they can nullify anything. And my question is, does the people understand that the people can nullify any constitution, can nullify what the Supreme Court would have decided after the election? You see, that's basically what I'm saying. If the people say this is what they want, they go into the street, this is what they want, everything is stalemate. The people can decide. There's no constitution when the people go into the street. There's no constitution. It's a revolution. You see, that's what triggers what we call a constitutional change. For example, I can give you like in 1997 when we wanted to have this expropriation of land without competition, right? It was the people who went and got the land, right? If it was not that these guys went there, these war veterans went out to get the land, we could not have changed that constitution. The constitution can only be changed by people if they go into the street. The people.
Okay, let's now go into these two. Let's go into these two. ZANU-PF takes the military option. The people go on the street. Who's going to win?
It depends. It's you know, a revolution. It cannot be predictable what's going to happen. It's a revolution, right? If it is war that people want, yeah, it can happen that way. That if it's war, it's a revolution. Pardon, right? Are we prepared to sacrifice? That's the question that people have to ask themselves, right? Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Are we going to be in the streets, and are we going to die for what we want, right? That's how you pay the price. Exactly the same way ZANU-PF paid the price for us to be what we are right now. You see, that's why they say they always talk about kuti kana mechida kutora nyika ino amuitore amutore nebhiro nepepa andizvere ndozvaanotaura andizvere, but that's basically is the thing. It's about, if we want to go to war, if it is what it is, let's get it and over and done with it. That's the thing. You see, that's the thing. Are we prepared to do that? My question.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Panganai, I'm very sorry.
yeah,
I have to cut this short, but I
yeah.
don't think people understand the significance of
Mm.
what he just said. But they'll soon understand within the next few days,
Yeah, they
because I
want.
think what you're saying, what you're saying now is the most important thing that people don't understand.
Yeah.
That where we lack data. I've said
Mhm.
this before, that ZANU-PF lacks data. I do have some data on the CCC's victory, and I've given my views. But I think, by and large, like the large majority of Zimbabweans,
Yeah.
they've never been to this point where we are now,
Yeah.
where ZANU-PF actually doesn't know going to the election what is going to happen. Before ZANU-PF would know, they would actually be able to rig, maybe in the past. Like in 1980, I know for a fact that ZANU-PF rigged the election in 1980. I was there watching in the village when the chiefs were queuing up with people and a lot of things were happening. So ZAP was rigged quite clearly during that time.
Yeah.
But this time around, ZANU-PF does not have that data of how much Chamisa is going to get in this election and how much they're going to get, especially at the presidential level. And you are saying, in fact, the numbers are not clear. You're saying it's almost 3 parts. And the
Yeah.
numbers themselves are not what is important. What is important is what happens after the election. That is what you're saying.
Exactly. What I'm saying is, it is not what Zek says, but it is what the judicial system says is the present, right? Or what the people would have done after the election. That's what I'm saying. So to come out when say that CCC will be an outright winner, right? It's perfectly understandable if somebody can do that, but I would accuse that person if they've got historical amnesia, but to make that prediction, that person has got no recollection whatsoever when it comes to what the history about Zimbabwe, right? How we are what we are today and what has happened for us to be what we are today, you see. So, pardon, to tell you for a fact, this is an outcome, like I said, is going to be determined about on the outcome of the aftermath of the election. What's going to happen on the election is not important, right? But what's going to happen after the aftermath of the election is what is going to determine who is going to be the ruler of Zimbabwe. Perfect, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
100%.
sir. And I really appreciate what you said here. I appreciate your model. I've read through it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to publish this tomorrow so that everyone can have a look. 33% you say ED, 33% Chamisa. That is the possible outcomes. Those two have got almost equal. But equally, there is a 33% of contested outcome. And it won't matter what happens in the election. What will matter is what happens after the election, and the people can nullify everything. So if the judiciary makes a decision, the people can nullify it. If the ED goes military, the people can nullify it. And so now everything is in the hands of the people. And I think it's clear to everybody. People want to know more about you. I've seen many people here, they don't understand who you are. And I think let's give you a minute.
I think let's stick with
talk about yourself.
Panganai. Yeah, let's stick with Panganai Mhlanga because I've got my platform, the Afro Hot Mic, right? But recently, I have been deplatformed by these algorithms. I think also you know that they've affected you as well. Anything that has been projected to have said something that is perhaps maybe is affiliated with ZANU-PF has been a challenge for us. And it's the regime change agenda that I always talk about. And most people say it's a conspiracy theory, but it is what it is. So yeah, the Afro Hot Mic, Panganai Mhlanga there, right? And if you want to music, but then let's forget about the music. Let's just stick to Afro Hot Mic. Yeah.
Okay, I just want people to know how I know you. Like, the first time I encountered you was the bombing. During the bombing, you said some very interesting things to me. I didn't know you at that time, but I was looking through my comments and I saw you made a very interesting comments.
Yeah.
I think it was before the bombing or after the bombing.
It was after.
And it struck me to say, what you're saying about the bombing was quite detailed, and you seem to know a lot about what happened, and your analysis was quite interesting to me. So I think many people don't know why I got to get in touch with you. And that bombing has not been solved yet, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been, because you remember everything happens. It's well calculated. I always say that when things happen, it's calculated, right? You have to understand who is going to benefit from such things, right? That was my comment there. When I did, yeah, because it was like when I look at things, I'm always like, I disregard any affiliation or sentiments that I have towards maybe SANU-PF, right? Like what most people say that I am affiliated toward, right? Feelings, I take them away. I'm a realist person. I look at things, I do not predict things based on my feelings, what I want things to happen. Because for me, I'll be creating an undesired heart attack for myself. You see, because it's simple. It's simple because you know what, things cannot happen. And I'm a soccer fan myself. I'm an Arsenal fan. Whenever I watch my team play, right, I do not go and anticipate things to happen the way I want it to happen. Whatever happens is what will happen, right? What is the most likely outcome based on the facts on the ground? It's not about your affiliation or your thoughts or your love for CCC and your love for ZANU-PF that you can say and predict that ZANU-PF is going to win, right? It doesn't work like that. You have to consider everything. What's going on here? You have to understand what's going on here. Nothing happens.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. And thank you very much for joining here. And I think we'll be covering the elections mostly on the 23rd and early on the 24th. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens on the 24th. Thank you very much, sir. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
I just want to say thank you so much, Pardon. It's been a long time since we did this. Remember, we predicted a lot of things that are happening right now, especially when it comes to the South African economy also. All right. I'm happy, we are on the right side of history all the time. We are on the right side of history. And no affiliations, no sentiments, no emotions whatsoever. Most people think whatever they think about me, it's okay. I will take it. But thank you very much, Pardon. I like it. You are so much.
Kuno abo bano mamu wanna get it nice. I know food I so I know food I